What's up, everyone? It's Gabby Trades here. Welcome back to the channel. Well, today's labor market data came in stronger than expected. Of course, we were kind of prepared for it. Well, you can't really be prepared for these kind of events. Usually, it's kind of like a no trade date. If you manage to catch a trade during London, you're lucky. And if you don't, you kind of like have to be very, very careful. Hi, Kun Kenshin. Basher is here as well. Tommy is boarding a flight and I'm jealous. I already told him. Hey guys, hope everyone is good. Make sure to say hi in the chat box. I can't see how many of you are live, but anyway, people are hiding from the markets right now, which is completely, I guess understandable, but at the same time, you know what I said on Discord, it's like, for me, if you guys are not coming on the lives when there is no hype, that means you're just like a FOMO trading people, which is not the best. Hi Nikki, Jumbo Master is here. Aloha. Adrian Hernandez, which we'll never know if he is a girl or if he is a guy. So we had a simple plan today for this whole setup. Let me see if you guys can see. You kind of can see a little bit, but basically this is what we were, this is our cheat sheet, right? So I posted that today with the pre-market update for you guys. So basically, we were looking at whether the data is going to come much weaker, than what's going to happen to stocks, blah, 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 blah. The thing is, even though you have the cheat sheets, you know, the data is usually mixed. It's hard to read. Today, however, we actually fell into the stronger part of the cheat sheet, and it kind of makes sense. I think it makes sense. I know it looks very messy, but we're gonna look at it together now. So first of all, let's look at the data, what we got in. So we got average hourly earnings, that's month over month at 0.4 versus expectations of 0.3. And then we have the non-farm employment change at 130 versus 66. And then we had the unemployment rate ticking down by 0.1%. Now, in simple terms, this whole thing means that basically more jobs were added than expected. Wages are growing slightly faster than the forecast, and unemployment actually improved a little bit. So that is going to immediately give us the hint that the labor market is remaining resilient, despite everything, despite all the recession fears, everything that we were chatting earlier during the pre-market update about, that we've been hearing. Despite all of this, this is the data, and the data is not confirming all those fears, because that's what we were exactly wondering. So basically, the problem with this is, right, that it could be a double-edged sword, right? It's a double-edged sword, because in one hand, it's going to signal that there is some sort of economic stability, which is going to support the earnings and is going to reduce, obviously, the recession fears, like we said. But on the other hand, it could mean that, of course, inflation is semi-sticky right now, which means that the Fed is going to be potentially more cautious about cutting rates aggressively, right? So, you know, depends how the traders are interpreting that. If they're interpreting it as the rates are staying higher for longer, of course, that the first thing you're going to see is the US stocks feeling the pressure from it. Also high valuation stocks, all of these. So that's the first thing. Then the other thing that is very important to watch is, of course, going to be the yields. So, you know, with the forecast that we got today, the yields are the ones that are giving us the signal. Go, kitty cat, go away from here. So let's have a look real quickly what happened to the bond yields. So this was the candle, right? As soon as we got the data, explosive move up. So that was kind of like the first signal. So then when we're looking at that as well, we're expecting for the dollar to tick up as well. And then we look at the dollar. Dollar's ticking up at the same time. It was just very weird, because stocks and let's look at the Nasdaq. Hold on, let's get this chart. As you can see, initially with the data at 8:30, we actually had a massive push. So everyone started buying like crazy, to then be completely slaughtered shortly thereafter. So that is why it is very hard to trade data like that. Of course, markets can view it as a soft landing with the data, but you know, this is the situation. It was just very, very hard. Like, I was looking at the charts, I was trying to look for trades. I think I found somewhere something on the NASDAQ, which I didn't take. But no, it wasn't even that. It wasn't even that. So yeah, pretty much very hard to trade. Let's put on the session indicators 1 second to have a look. So yeah, look at that. Push up, manipulation into the news, and then the whole move was completely wiped off. And of course, you know, the problem is, if we look at the overalls, we can see that currently everything is kind of down on the day. Besides, S&P is currently like 10 points up, but we don't know what's going to happen by the end of the day. But most importantly, you're noticing what happens to advances versus declining issues, the stocks. So you can see that the majority of the stocks decline on such data. Sorry, we have the kitty cat distracting me. Okay. And of course, you need to look at groups, right? You need to look at groups and evaluate what's happening. Look at that. For the second day in a row, we're having the financial being the second worst performer for the day. Yesterday was literally the exact same thing. So when you're having financials, you know, the big dogs not participating, not buying and not participating in the rallies, it is just not sustainable. So that's why, you know, this move up here was very, very sus. Okay. Looking at crypto, honestly, Bitcoin, extremely waste of time for me. At the moment, I'm still in my long currently, but I won't be surprised if they take me out. If they don't return it right now from this candle up, it won't make sense for me to continue staying in this trade, even though I've taken partials. For me, it's just, you know, because pretty much this is the last time over here with this candle, like the one before. If you can see, let me try and show to you this one, the second one. No, that's probably not the best idea. This little candle, whatever. So it's basically with a wick, right? And that is going to tell us that this was like the last time where they tried to kind of push it lower, but they failed with the third 4-hourly candle up here. So this means that there is demand sitting in that candle, right? There is buys and demand, interest in that candle. Everyone, make sure to like this video. Yes, I keep forgetting to tell you to do that. Hi, Veronica. Hello, what a day, sitting on my hands for ideas. I think that's honestly the smartest thing to do. If you don't see something on the chart, like I think the best thing is to just wait for something that you understand a little bit better. Because you're taking a risk, it's better to be taking sort of an informed risk rather than just like not knowing what to do. But yeah, overall, there is some sort of demand over here, but I'm already long from this area down here. So for me, it doesn't really, you know, make sense to open another position right now. I would rather open, if I want high risk, a little bit lower, if in case they decide to retest the demand that was left down here at the wick, which I've been saying now for literally 3 days and I'm bored of repeating it, honestly. But genuinely, yeah, it's just very weak. You know, this is a complete healthy bearish rotation, even with this move down that is happening. If we break it, you know, it has to be a little bit more substantial break, a little bit bigger move than expected. So maybe tomorrow with CPI, because today was just, you know, a waste of screen time for me, to be fair with you. Let's have a look at gold. I'll show you the only thing that I saw on gold today, and that was the long during London. And then you'll quickly understand like why there was literally nothing else. Let me just remember where I drew my range. So here we have Tokyo. This is your Asia high, Asia low. Okay, we have a kitty cat that is just not going to give up. She just wants to be famous. Mommy, hold on. We need to draw the range here for everyone. Now where was the high? Where was the low? Maybe we can do a replay, whatever. No. Yeah, we can replay it like this. So that was pretty much I hate this watermark and I don't know how to remove it. If anybody knows, just let me know, please. But anyways, this was the range that I was looking at this morning, right? London session. This is the high, this is the low. I think that was it. And then pretty much 0.236 was the buy signal. So let's play it. Let's have a look. I'm not really good with that stuff, but that was pretty much the buy signal down here. And then you had a second confirmation on the lower time frame, which is 1 minute. I was even looking at on at like the 15-second time frame as well. It was actually pretty awesome because we had a perfect retest of the 0.5, and that was the confirmation that this trade is going to continue +1. So it was pretty awesome. That was a good trade today, something that was very clear on the chart. Like if you're a trader, you should be able to spot these kind of things like very, very easily. Okay, no, mommy, no. I can't handle her today. I don't want to like, okay, go, look, go get mommy's burger. Hello. So yes, I don't want to lock her in today, so she's gonna be part of the stream, I guess. But anyway, yeah, so that was a trade during London, and with New York after that, it was just a complete slaughterhouse, as you can see, right? I mean, how do you trade that? It's very difficult unless you manage to catch the short. But honestly, like I was even looking at the short up here. Let's track it back on the 15-minute. Well, I guess you can say you're coming at an extreme zone, but you know, it's not something that I would take as a short today. I think yesterday again we had a similar thing up here with this short that I didn't want to take. Today, same thing, right? I mean, it's areas that have been retested several times, so for me, not really of interest. I like a little bit more of a clean setup. Overall, this is the range for gold. Now, this is the pullback leg. So this is what we're looking at. If this is really going to develop as a range on gold, that's the kind of thing we need to be looking for, right? We need to be looking for price to be failing somewhere in between 5,344 and 5,601. This is the area, right? If this is going to turn into some sort of you know, a higher time frame range, that's the possibility I'm looking at. And also here, I really like this candle for a reaction. Again, it falls very precisely on the 0.786 point. So I think it would be interesting to see what happens up here, but definitely a shorting area for gold for me. Does that make sense? Silver, I haven't really looked at. You guys, let me know if you have any assets that you've been looking at and you're kind of interested in for us to review. But yeah, I mean, even here, this is also an area on silver. You get a reaction on the 4-hour time frame, and that's it. And then you retrace half of the move. Like it's not a perfect market at the moment, you know. So it's better to stay safe. Is Casper good? Jamie Barisov, I honestly have no idea. What was the ticker for Casper? Was it CAS? I don't know much about the projects. I just look at the charts, and sometimes if there is a setup on them, like I would look at them, otherwise not really. Yeah, CAS, that's what I thought. I always ask, I always forget what this looks like. But my guess is that it's not that amazing at the moment. Let's have a look. Yeah, I mean, I haven't looked at that in a very, very long time, but we've left an area of interest here for some time. So actually, this is not looking bad, to be honest. This is not a bad setup for a long, honestly. Maybe a little bit more confirmation. Let's look on the 4-hour time frame. I guess. What I would have liked a little bit more if this leg was a little bit higher and then we have that drop. And then we managed to maintain this area, which we currently kind of are. So yeah, this could be a potential long trade here. Technically, if I see kind of a setup like that on, let's say, gold or silver, like I'll definitely buy. But for crypto, it's a little hard when you see something like this. So it's definitely coming from a zone that we've marked on a weekly time frame. This is kind of like the candle that I was looking at, I guess. And I'm telling you, I've marked this probably like weeks ago because I haven't looked at CAS. You guys watch me every day, like, I don't know. So here it is. We're at the area of interest. Is it going to hold? You know, unfortunately, it's not gold, it's not silver, it's a very weak asset. So yeah, you do have potentiality to do something, but on a daily time frame, you don't look that bad, honestly. Like this could be a really good setup, but you have to have essentially, like, you know, the stop loss below the low. Because you're not willing to risk more, if that makes sense. But yes, everyone, hit the like button. Sure, let's look at that. See, like all of the hopes and dreams that I've had for this. Still though, this is the leg, right? This is the leg. It should hold because we haven't even tapped the 0.236. So, you know, this is still valid. The retraces are deep, but like, of course, we're looking on a monthly time frame. But let's delete a little bit to see what we've done before. I think we're looking at these equal highs over here as liquidity that's left for the future. You have a pretty nice liquidity grab here with last week's candle. Same thing, honestly, like all you need to hope for is for the levels to hold. If the levels are holding and you see like one explosive candle like on a daily time frame, I think it's probably going to be a good sign for a potential move. It's just very risky right now the way the markets are. Honestly, like I'd be very scared to trade these kind of things, to put my money on it, to be fair. But yeah, like I said, if I see a setup like that on gold and silver, like it's gonna be a no-brainer for me. You know, of course you have a potential to retrace. You see here you have a little bit of an you know, what do you call, like balanced price action, which essentially is an area of interest as well, where price just dropped and then you know, you see no wicks within this area. So I'd be looking at that as well. But yeah, whatever happens, like stop loss needs to be below this low, because if it's not, then it's just invalidation of the setup anyways. But yeah, daily for this, not so bad. 12 hourly, not so bad. It's just massive sell wall, you know, in between levels, right? You have a lot of supply here that you continuously respect, and you're respecting the demand level below it. So it's kind of like, it's just waiting to do something, to be honest with you. It's like, what are we doing, boss? Are we going up or down? Like, I guess they're waiting on what was I looking at? CoffeeZilla or something? Yeah, this guy. Look at that. Look at that. Binance, whose founder was pardoned, now holds 87% on Trump's stablecoin. CoffeeZilla, the worst part is they're not even trying to hide the corruption. So yeah, it's a game that we're just not insiders of, I guess. So but overall it's like, I mean, this is the range you're playing. You haven't touched 0.236. You should be exiting sub 720. Like that's what it is in a normal market. Like that's what I would be looking at. The current market, the way it is, I don't know. Another way you can look at that is you can look at the wick here. So this wick is demand, the whole thing. Maybe you can draw like the 50% of it. And look at that, right? When you draw the 50% of the entire week, what happens is that it matches perfectly with this break of the previous week's low. So yeah, that's exactly where we said that price could potentially further draw back to, and then respect the demand and continue, right, on a lower time frame, because this is kind of like, you know, the setup that you'll be looking out for. Yeah, it's just not my preferred setup, not my favorite. I would be waiting for price to show, same thing with the previous altcoin, like a little bit of a confirmation that there is something happening, right? I don't like a flat sell wall at the top and a flat demand at the bottom. I don't mind, but like a flat supply, you know, chain at the top like that is a little bit of a red flag for me. So just keep that in mind, you guys. All right, that's all we can do. Just consider all the options. I mean, look at ETH. I'm pretty sure I'm out of my so long, am I? Like I took it at around 70, 79, so I might still be it. Zumba Pumba, good evening, Gaps. Great that you're doing a live show on Wednesday nights. Why is that? We're doing a live show on... Is it already Wednesday? Yes, it is. Oh, damn. So we're doing it like Monday to Thursday. Monday to Thursday, we have a show together. So, yeah, this long might be also going in the gutter for Solana. Honestly, like, this is the whole area of interest. I don't know what's going to happen. Just waiting. I'm not going to rush into any longs at the moment. I don't think it's a very good idea. I think, you know, capital preservation above everything is the most important, but that doesn't mean that I'm going to like not look at the markets and see if there is any opportunities at the particular day. Quite the opposite, actually. Let's see where Bitcoin is actually coming from here. Oh yeah, we discussed that already. This is the demand candle, and that's where we're getting a reaction. But yeah, this 4-hour candle is just slaughterhouse. Complete utter. I sold all my positions today. Tomorrow, I think there will be blood on the streams. Zumba Pumba. Quite possible, honestly. Quite possible with the CPI data. We'll see what's gonna happen. I was hoping for a little bit of a bigger move on Nasdaq today, but again, disappointed. So I guess it is what it is. For me, it's very important for Nasdaq to push higher because if it doesn't, you know, that might be a little bit of a bigger problem. That might mean we start chasing this liquidity and potentially trading below, you know, 23.8, which I'm definitely not looking forward to. Anyways, you guys, do you want to see anything else today? Honestly, like I don't have anything much to say for these markets today. Tomorrow we have CPI. We're gonna review it on the day, and that's it. River. River. Ouch. Weekly doesn't look that great. Daily doesn't look that great either. 12 hourly, a little bit better, I guess. Yeah, this is the thing, right? Like, I would have rather seen a sweep of these lows. This is how I would like. If we had a sweep here on these lows and then we had the move up, then I'd be more fond of this, but we didn't get that. So, not fond of that move either. But you do have clear liquidity a little bit above at like 24.8. Let's see if you're actually respecting any supply zones. Not really. Like currently you've erased the whole demand chain over here. So that's very weak. You came down, you cleared this low, you tapped into the previous demand, and you're sort of reacting right now. So yeah, definitely a potential area to consider, which was here. But is it going to hold? Like, I don't know. But that's your job really as a trader, right? Like identifying what's happening and what are the potential areas that you could get some reaction from. Because this move down here, so that was balanced, then you get another leg up, and then you get another leg up. So essentially you have a strong low that was currently breached. So now this is going to make this high a strong high. So you're kind of reversing at the moment. So this is the problem with river. Hey Gabby, I missed Bitcoin. Is it a moment of indecision or do you have a bias, please? For Bitcoin, honestly, just like everything else with crypto at the moment, I don't have a clear bias, but what I discussed is that, yeah, kind of stuff are at the buy zone at the moment, but it's not really holding. It's like respecting lower time frame supply as well, and it's kind of like really in indecision. It's looking very weak. So yeah, potentially, like I said, from here, the only thing that could be possibly good is if we manage to hold the current demand and then reverse to see what happens tomorrow, or we just drop down and retest like around 65k and then hold. If that area fails, you're looking at lower levels at around 62.2. It's really a day-by-day thing. So for today, I was bearish already. So yeah, and I didn't really think there will be any setup today as per se. So that's that. My cat's going crazy at the moment, so let me have a look at her. Where are you? Ah, she's driving me nuts. Why is she doing that? Yeah, so not great. Not great. And if we lose everything, like I don't even know. Honestly, you guys, like I don't think I'm gonna enter like on a high risk buy for Bitcoin at the moment. It doesn't make sense, especially after the bearish formation at True Month Open. The fact that you're having True Month Open together with True Week Open, price continuing to fail from it, it's not something that I'm interested in trading at the moment. I have my long. If I get taken out at break even, I've taken profits, so I'm good. Honestly, I don't even think, depending on price action and how it acts, if we get like, you know, market makers involved and I can identify that in some areas of interest, maybe I'll also get involved. Otherwise, not really. Yeah. Otherwise, it's just a huge risk for me. Yeah. It's better to wait for a clear setup to show itself. Unless you're short from true month open happy days you're keeping, or you've hedged with a short. Me personally, if we explode out of nowhere here, I want to look for a short at around 74.5k Bitcoin, or true year open at around 78. For me, that's a higher probability setup than what's happening right now. This is not of a high probability anymore. So could be, honestly, could be. If it happens, it's going to be kind of a miracle. Does your gut tell you there's going to be another bull run at some point in 2026? Not really, to be honest. Like I don't have any feelings as per se on what's going to happen with Bitcoin. I think it's acting extremely irrationally, and I can't give any predictions on you know, extended rallies or something like that. For me, it's just take it day by day, month by month, and that's it. I'm not here to make long-term decisions because I don't even hold it. You know, I don't care at this point. No, definitely not like the old days. The only thing that's looking like the old days, it's probably the current bearish setup on Bitcoin. That's what looks like the old days. That's exactly a similar sort of situation. Okay, let's give you a clear chart, but we've already spoken about that. That's like a similar situation with what happened with 2022 bear move. So, but we already spoke about that. For me, if you can come like on the day and manage to extract a little bit of the market, even if you manage to extract like $150 from the market, that's a win already, you know? But to do that, you do need a little bit of capital. So what I'd say is, if you want to be good traders, just save up small lots, try every day, find your setups, whether you're using my methods, whether you're using someone else's methods. The idea is to be able to extract from the market a little bit at high volatility sessions such as London or New York. Ideally stay away from high volatile situations such as today's. Tomorrow we'll see. Maybe CPI is gonna give a setup. We don't know. But yeah, let's look at XRP quickly. Nothing, dude, honestly. I wish I bought BTC in 2010. You're just saying that. I mean, I bought BTC like even before that, but I sold it, you know, like you never know what you would have done. You know what I mean? So I was looking at CZ on X today. He said that he sold his home for $900,000 and he bought Bitcoin at average of like $600. And I was like, I mean, what did he know that I didn't know? Like, who would sell their entire home worth almost $1 million to go full in to buy Bitcoin at $600, which is now, by the way, if he held until today, that's worth like tens of millions, right? Tens of millions. 60, 70, like I don't know how many, but lots of millions. You have to know something. So yeah, and I bought Bitcoin early, not as early as $600, but I also sold prematurely, in profit but prematurely. So because when you don't know what's happening and you can you stop, Missy? Stop it. Stop. She's just like going with her little paws up. I have no idea what she's doing. I have no idea. This is your last time. This is your last time you're staying here while I'm streaming. I'm never gonna do that again. I bought BTC at 126. You're actually kidding me. You didn't do that. Did we actually reach 126? I don't even remember. How can you... Oh, hold on. You're telling me you bought at the actual top? That's crazy. Yeah, Dano, like literally similar situation. No, that's fine. Jokes are good. Jokes are good. What else are we gonna do when the market is so crap, honestly? I'm just trying to keep myself, like, you know, in sort of a sane mentality. But honestly, what I do all day is stare at the charts, and not many charts. I'm mainly looking at gold, Bitcoin, some stocks, and that's it. I just try to keep it concentrated for the day, like for my picks. But yeah, it's been terrible. Yesterday's been terrible. And when the market's like that and all you do is like you wait for a little bit of setup or something specific to happen, it just takes a toll on you, on your day. It's just not great, but it happens a lot, right? It's not the first time, it's not the last time. We're probably gonna have a little bit more of that, and then we're gonna have a great week. So it's important when you feel yourself, or when I feel myself that I'm not having a great week on the charts, meaning with, for example, reading the tape correctly or maybe taking a loss, then I try to step back and just observe until I see something very clean. So then I'm looking for like a class A setup, right? Because when I'm doing really well, sometimes I'll take, you know, a class B, a class C, a class D setup, and they would play out. That's when I'm on a winning streak, for example. But when the market is looking like that, you just need to be looking for class A setups. Does it make sense to open a long and a short at the same time? Low leverage? No, it does. Okay, you're gonna break my stuff now. You need to stop. Missy. It doesn't make sense. Yes, everyone hit the like button. Definitely not. If you're taking a long or and a short, like meaning you're hedging, it would make sense to do that if, for example, like we were long already down here and then you're taking a short up here from true month open. That would make sense. You've taken a little bit of profits on the long, you're fully sized on the short. That would make sense, right? I mean, I really like her. She's the best. The other okay. She just wants my attention. I know, because we're bonded. Right? So yeah, she doesn't understand when I'm talking to like a camera and I'm staring at the screen. She's like, who are you talking to? What are you doing? So she freaks out and she goes in that area and tries to figure it out. Okay, you're just gonna lay down here in front of the camera now. Okay, good girl. Can you guys see her? I don't know if you can see her. No, she's just here. Yeah, where my hand is, just below. Cats are the best. Yeah, I mean, I like cats and I like dogs. Whatever. I wasn't planning on getting a cat, but I know you can't see her. She's just down here, sitting. Yeah, I'm tapping on her head, and she's like, "Ooh, ooh." I wasn't planning on having a cat or anything, but I just had to rescue her because she was dying, and I felt really sorry for her. So she's doing great now. Love hanging out with you guys. Honestly, I wish there was like a better market that we could just go crazy about, but honestly, not very exciting. Let's look at silver real quick. Yeah, silver's been the one thing that after the last setup I managed to find. Low-key, this does not look bad here on the 12-hourly time frame. Did you see her now? Hi, Zebu. Okay, she's going again. She's completely losing it. You're gonna trash everything right now. How are you, Zebo? Did you manage to catch some trades today? Zebu loves trading news. Maybe the cat wants to trade, maybe. If we get a decent pullback on silver, actually would not be quite bad to look for some longs. Within these support 75.2, 79.1. Oh, you were? All right. See you guys. See you later. No, I was here, but honestly, I couldn't do anything. It was just way, like, it was not good. It was definitely not good for me. I mean, look at this. Like, if you short, you're screwed. If you long, like, very difficult today. So yeah. Yeah, that's not a bad entry. Like I said, it's just something that I wouldn't take necessarily. I think it just came with the beginning of New York session. Yeah. Yeah, definitely not something that I would have taken. No, not my type of short. Well, maybe technically, I guess I could have for maybe up here, but again, I'll be a bit sus from these equal highs over here, taking it. So yep. Complete scammage. We're creating some higher lows here on Bitcoin. See, this on the 5-minute was not a bad scalp, actually. Potentially. You see all that move here, you come back, you rebalance it, you tap in an area of interest, and you send. Yep. For a scalp only, though. Yeah, NAS is terrible on the 4-hour time frame, I know. I know. I mean, look at that candle, just up and down, like just pick a direction already. The only good thing that happened potentially is this candle up here. But again, if you have taken a long here, you're killed. If you would have taken a long here, you're killed. And if you would have taken a long here, you're potentially getting killed very soon. So it's just scalping idea, but even during NFP, you can't be scalping because it's too dangerous to do so. And just wiping a whole move like that and then reversing is just not healthy. Not healthy price action. But I guess that's it, you guys. Thank you so much for spending some time with me. Make sure to comment in the description box. If you're not on Discord, make sure to like this video if you haven't liked this video. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for the pre-market update. Make sure to watch these ones. You're welcome, you guys. You're welcome. I'll see you guys soon.